Intentional. Oh, I didn't realize that wasn't your hands. I just saw it like I was
She's
putting the
got
guitar away.
joints.
I was putting the guitar
Hey
away.
guys, guess what? We're live.
Oh gosh.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi people.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural DPC, whatever that might mean. We'll find out. But hi everybody, I'm your starting host for this first episode of the DeadPan podcast, Dan. And on the panel with me is Maria, Erika, and
Hi.
Patrick.
Go.
What?
What?
Greetings and salutations.
What's up,
Salutations.
peoples?
Party people in the house.
Party peoples.
Yeah.
So this is our first go at a podcast that we are still working out what it's going to be exactly. So we're going to wing it, and we've got some ideas, we got some thoughts, some things we're looking to do and try.
Should I share
including-
my host idea?
What's that?
Picking the host for each week?
Yeah, I was actually going to just say that, so you can actually have the honor of letting
That's
people
my
know,
idea.
Erika.
Please.
What's your
So-
idea?
Because we weren't quite sure who we wanted to like host every week, and then I was like, what if we roll a dice? So we have a D20 and everybody has individual numbers. So at the beginning of each episode, we'll roll a dice, and whatever it lands on is going to be that person who hosts. So they won't know they're hosting until we're live.
Yeah, we're going to do the
Anxiety
dice
inducing.
roll on camera live.
I think I'm going to choose. I can't decide if I'm going to do like one of my red dice.
Hello
for
everyone,
Deadpan.
welcome to the stream.
I think I
I'm not
might.
ignoring the chat.
I am.
I am.
Okay, I choose
I'm
to ignore
not.
the chat.
I'm looking.
Hi chat.
Hi, chat.
chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Do we want to go around and do a quick little introduction of each of ourselves?
Oh, not really.
Yeah.
No? Pat's up for it. Let's go, Pat. Go for it.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? My name is Patrick, aka PSET. Coming to you live from Seattle, Washington. Player of games, watcher of sports. Yeah, just all around weird dude. Gotta love it. That's me.
I love it. Good job. Well, I guess I'm going next then, seeing as there's a deathly silence. I'm
Definitely.
Maria, aka the Pocket Ninja. It's a long story. I play games. Like Troy and I try to. I draw pictures and I do things, and I'm conquering the world.
Do great drawing
I
things.
do.
Well, I'm Erika Ondoin. I do games and stuff, and TTRPGs, and podcasts, and writing, and
All the games.
all the things.
All the games.
It's my little nerd corner.
Yeah, and if anybody who doesn't know me, that I am Dan, Deadpan, Dan. I
Dead
am
inside.
the Deadpanist. So we don't know exactly what this podcast is yet. We're gonna work it out, and I mean, we're looking for support and I think feedback from anyone who's watching this or checking this out. But we're a bunch of nerds. We're probably gonna talk about some video games. We're probably gonna talk about some pop culture. And I know that's something on the docket that we want to talk about, and that was kind of like an inspiration for this podcast. Is like I want to hang out and chat with my friends. I want to talk with my friends about video games. So that's going to be something that we're definitely doing. I look forward to possibly switching things up and maybe getting some friends of the show on here from time to time, maybe some guests from time to
Maybe.
time.
Maybe.
But this ideally is our core panel right here. These are the people you're going to see most times.
So
Every time everyone's willing to be here. Come on, Maria. I'm also going to try to make sure that this podcast gets uploaded to audio platforms as soon as I can. So people
platforms.
who can't listen on YouTube can listen like tomorrow on their way to work, on their commute, or at work. Something
Do I
like
need
that.
to start saying yes instead of nodding my head only?
Correct.
Yes,
Good to, it's
For
good to
the
know. It's good to
audio.
know.
Yeah.
listeners. Anyways, let's jump into some
please.
game talk. Let's talk about what have we been playing lately. This should be fun. Who wants to go first?
I do. Me.
Oh, Erica's on it hot.
Okay. I have never played a Souls game, anything of that variety. It just looked way too anxiety inducing and stressful. And then my brother-in-law was like, hey, Erika, have you ever considered playing Elden Ring? I think it'd be fun to watch you play. And I was like, That's rude, but also accurate.
Rude.
So we split the cost because we not PC, PlayStation share games. I've been playing it nonstop. Um,
Nonstop, literally nonstop.
like quite literally. And during the day at work, like, sometimes I like watch Netflix or whatever. No, I have been watching and listening to like playthroughs and how-tos and mage builds, and it's in my head. I've been dreaming about Elden Ring, and I hate dreaming about video games because I keep dying. Anyways, I also came up with this fun little thing. So, obviously, I have extreme ADHD and I forget to take my vitamins every day. So, what I've been doing is I made this little bowl and I've got like cute little stickers on it that I put my vitamins in. And every time I die in Elden Ring, I have to take one of my vitamins. So, I take them within about 5 minutes.
How do you
That's one way to do
remember
it.
when to reload your vitamins, though?
Because
Is
I
that's
do it
not
at
the
the
issue?
start of when I pull up the game. I'm like, "Okay, while it's loading, I'm gonna put my vitamins in," and then I got so excited to figure out my deaths that I have a death counter.
Wow, and we're at 121 right now, and
121.
one
Wow.
121 deaths in about how many hours? Where are you at in the game?
I'm
What's your
at
experience been like?
18 hours. I'm level 50. Um, and I'm currently so what I do first in games is I immediately explore everywhere I can, even in places I'm not supposed to go. It's exactly what I did. I opened up nearly the entire map, well, the base map. And I opened that up, got a bunch of sites of grace, and then I was like, I should probably start doing stuff. And so that's when I've like started really leveling up, spending my grace, figuring out how things worked. Um, I've got a decent build going, but I'm gonna go rune farming after this. And I'm starting to do Ronnie's quest line, the witch, the pretty big hat witch. I heard her quest line is super complicated and really cool. So that's where I'm at.
How are you tiptoeing right now? It sounds like you're open to watching all sorts of content about
Oh
it.
yeah.
So, are you not too concerned about things getting spoiled for you, or how are you feeling
Not
about that?
terribly. I I know that there's such a complexity to the game that I figure if I see some sort of a spoiler, which I kind of did earlier today, I was like, "Oh, that happens." I was like, "Well, first of all, I've only met that person once, and I've never done anything about them, so I'm not emotionally invested." And
Right.
so, and even if something like
I
that
didn't even
just
know there was a
got,
quest line for Ronnie the witch. Is it
yeah,
Ronnie?
yeah, it's horrible to try
That's
and get
see
to
now I
her.
haven't looked up anything on Elden Ring. I've been keeping the blinders up and
Yeah.
experiencing everything like as firsthand as possible.
I kind of did that with my exploring. That was my way of going in without blinders. And I was like, okay, now I want to actually do shit. Like, I want to do stuff now. So that's where I'm at. I'm so excited. I just love playing it. And
I
it's
totally
like
see the appeal in that
humbles
ending.
me.
That is the one that I pursued on my first playthrough.
Yeah.
I think that I don't want to spoil anything, obviously, but I think that the hearing about the complexity of that was definitely something that drew me into the idea of trying to go that route too.
Yeah.
Um, because after a certain amount of hours, I didn't want to immediately find like I didn't want to have it immediately spoiled to me, but if I felt like I was hitting a roadblock where it's like, they give you a vague direct instruction of like find me in the lost woods,
Yeah.
and
And
you're
you're
like,
like,
okay, I've
what?
been searching the lost woods for like 4 hours now. I just need to know where he is.
And
They
so
are,
you need to
whoever.
go and look something up. And I have had to do that with Rise Questline because that is the only improvement that I would make to the game is give me a quest log. I know me and Dan briefly discussed this where he's like, it feels good to like go and like write down the stuff. And I was like, well, I was 14 and a half hours in before you made that suggestion. And now I have no idea who I had talked to or what quest lines I've opened that I may have totally forgotten about. But
Yeah, I've been taking vigorous notes up until
which I
about
totally
hour
should have been.
85, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done taking notes. I just want to play.
I really should be taking I did start taking 2 more notes because I knew I was gonna forget some things, but I would love if it was just a quest line of like, "Hey, you started this, you talked to this person." Then I wouldn't be so
I
lost as
literally
to
that
what
was actually
quest
something really
lines.
satisfying for me on that note, Erica, is whenever I found a quest line or an objective, I actually made a checkbox with the description of what I needed to do. And when I completed it, I would click off the checkbox, and I was like, "Oh, that felt good."
Good idea. I didn't do checkboxes.
One of the nicest quality of life updates that they did, like after the first week or two that the game was in the wild, maybe it was a little longer than that, but they added like locations of NPCs that you discovered.
I heard
So
about that.
yeah, you'd be able, and that wasn't, for the first couple of weeks, that's when I spent the bulk of my time in it. That wasn't a thing. And so that's been very helpful as I create a new game and start to kind of chip away at it again. Some of the
Mhm.
characters that I maybe had missed because I discovered them and then they disappear because you reach a certain progress without interacting with them. To be able to keep better track of some of those people has been super nice too. To feel like I see
Yeah.
more than
Yeah, I was really
did on my
happy when
first
they
time.
added that too.
Yeah.
I came into it after obviously that happened because I've only been playing for like 2 weeks, maybe. Gosh, or maybe it's been a week. Time means nothing, especially when you're a gamer. You're just like, whatever, just do what I want. But yeah, I came into it after because I was watching a Jacksepticeye playthrough, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this didn't exist in the first bit," and he's like, "I wonder what other updates they're gonna come out with that we're gonna say the same thing of like, oh, that wasn't there in the beginning. I'm so glad it's there now." So he's like, "I'm looking forward to more updates to see where we can go from here."
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Now, Maria, I know you haven't necessarily gotten a chance to play that game yet, but as
Mhm.
far as like where do you lean when you try to, if you're creating a character in a fantasy world like this, where you have mages, you got barbarians, and you got all these different archetypes, what do you lean towards? What's something that if you were to make a character in Elden Ring, what do you think you would go for?
Ooh, good question.
Question.
There's a good question. I kind of like archer characters.
Sure.
Maybe it kind of comes down to like the sniper in me. I always like being the sniper characters. I'm not really one for magic. Don't really, but I like
Interesting.
the kind of the
Yeah.
stand back and snipe from a distance kind of characters.
Yeah.
So I always
Yeah.
like doing those, or because I button mash too much. I remember playing Neo, and it was the
Oh yeah.
worst because Dan was like, "Hey, you need to back off," and then come in and back off, and I'm just like.
Have
Yeah.
you
That's
seen what the prisoner looks like? Because I feel like you would pick that just out of hilarity.
I watched streams of it, but I'm not sure which character
He's
is the
got a big iron mask that looks
Yeah,
like a
he's
ball sack.
and
a
one eye
singular
is
ball sack.
closed and one eye is open with this tiny little slit for a mouth, and it's hilarious.
Sounds amazing.
And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, she'd pick that character just
It's
because
actually
it's
my
funny.
secondary character as a prisoner.
Really? I've heard they're good, especially with like the faith weapons and all sorts of stuff and incantations, I think.
I,
I think. Go ahead, Pat.
I was
Quick.
just because I made one recently as well, and because it had a balance of it was some sort of melee and intelligence. Because my first character was
Yes.
super heavily faith based, and that was not a conqueror.
Oh,
It's like a melee faith guy that has
Isn't
strong
it like
stats in
the
both of those.
priest?
It's not quite I think it starts with a C, but I don't want to dwell on that.
Conjurer?
No, not a conjurer, not a conjurer. Definitely more of a paladin build.
Okay. Okay.
And so I went like as much
I was
armor
thinking the
as I could.
vagabond.
Professor.
Yeah, confessor. Yep, it was the C name,
Okay.
confessor.
That
And
was my
so
That's
first
it.
character.
and didn't quite stick that one out. Decided to go
Same.
a different route for that one. Yeah,
I'm still
so
with
that
my
was the one.
original character.
100 plus hours into that one,
Mhm.
but started with the prisoner because I wanted to do spells. I wanted to do intelligence based spells.
Mhm.
And yeah, so you can ditch that ball sack helmet, when you find something else, but at the same time, how
You
could you
can
resist that?
I one of my first things I'd like to look at in games is can I have the helmet off? Like not
And
quite
not
like
lose your
actually take
stats.
exactly, like
Right.
hide helmet.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
did a Google search. It was like, here's how you hide the helmet. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. I scrolled down to the next paragraph. It says, unfortunately, this is just for the menu. In the real game, you're gonna have to
Clickbait.
take it off. And I was like, I hate
That was
you.
1000% clickbait.
Oh, I was
Got me again.
so mad. But I ended up finding a really cool cloak because I ended up moving also from Confessor because I I'm not great at melee, which was interesting because I'm a Titan in Destiny, melee punch things. And I
Eh,
went to
you still
do
mostly pew
Yeah.
pew everything in Destiny.
yeah,
It's
but I
it's
would
different still.
rather use a shotgun and run forward and die quickly. Just which is
That's
not
right.
good.
We're Titan buddies in Destiny. I forgot about that.
Yes, we are. And
Titan.
so I went to do astrologer, and I was best thing ever. Super high intelligence. It's great.
Where are my warlocks at? Warlocks sound off in the chat.
For Elden Ring.
Comments
Warlock
below.
does sound fun.
I mean,
Because
I have a
that's
Dex
that's the other one.
intelligence build, so I have a mixture of melee and magic for my samurai.
We should what platforms are you guys on?
Everything.
Xbox.
Everything.
I'm sorry,
Because-
Elden Ring specifically?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Xbox. Yeah, we're on Xbox. Dan and I
fine
are.
then. I was
And
like,
it
we
wouldn't
should
matter
line
if
up a
only had
meeting.
crossplay, which
Yeah.
is the poopiest.
I wish
know.
I
wish
had
every game had crossplay now.
cross-save.
Come
That
duel
would be
me,
nice
someone.
too.
Yeah,
I don't want to duel. I just want friends to help me
I want to
in
duel.
tough battles. Even though I know you can summon, but still.
Yeah, I'm a big
Sounds-
caveat for crossplay on everything. Everything needs crossplay.
Everything does. Everything
Everything.
does. Speaking
It's
of
criminal that
crossplay,
it doesn't. Do you see? Okay, I know
Yeah.
you're gonna get to this.
I'm gonna segue.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna segue.
We know what you're doing.
MLB 2022 has full cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression on everything.
Yeah.
Like
Nice.
everyone should be doing that. MLB was a PlayStation exclusive game that's now multi-platform. You can buy that game for your PlayStation and your Switch. Play it on your PlayStation, then say, "Oh, I'm gonna go for a walk," and grab your Switch and pick up where you left off. Why doesn't every game do this?
I agree.
mean, unless you're gonna get a Steam Deck, you could try
Okay,
to make
rant
that
over.
work. Steam
That's not
Deck.
crossplay.
But if it still works for PC only.
Is it cross progression if you have your Steam Deck? Like, can you be playing on your PC? That I wasn't in the market for one, so I didn't really do much research. So you can play your games on your computer and you can take it with you like a Switch. And
Pretty
be
much,
right where you were.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we ordered a Steam Deck. It's actually supposed to get here on Thursday, and my
Oh,
husband
you got
is.
yours? We haven't gotten ours yet.
Yeah, we got really lucky,
Yeah,
and
we ordered.
so
We did the pre-order pretty early too, but we haven't gotten the confirmation order
we
yet.
think the confirmation emails go out Tuesdays and Thursdays, so keep an eye out for Thursday.
The last time I checked, it says that we're slated for June.
At least you have that. That'll be good. Anyway, speaking of cross-platform,
Speaking of cross-platform play, I'm almost 30. It's 2022, and I've been playing so much Fortnite. So much Fortnite.
I'm not 12
Yep.
years old, and I've been playing Fortnite.
Yep.
We've all been playing Fortnite except for Maria. We've been
Not
playing
me.
the game of trying to get Maria to
We
play
have been
Fortnite.
trying. I've been trying so hard, and every time she's like, "Erika,
No.
F off," and like, I'm eating dinner. Leave me alone.
I don't want to play Fortnite.
To
You
watch this
do.
avalanche of like I like mentioned to my friends in like our little separate Discord that like I'm playing Fortnite, and to be like, why be the responses,
Why?
and then I'm like, and then I stream it, and then one friend watches me stream it and is like, actually, like that looks kind of fun. The main thing is that the no build mode,
Yes.
like I think that
1,000%.
this potentially is what gets a lot of people into it, but memories of playing Fortnite when it was a bit more relevant. You get the jump on someone and then you blink your eye and they're a tower. They're a tower 40 stories in the sky.
They do
and
that crazy
yeah, yep. Just the spiral climbing thing. And like I can't hang. I can't hang with that. And so to have no build mode and to really just depend on your use of cover and your item management, with health and shields and all that, is so much more up my alley. And so yeah, to have streamed it a little bit on my personal channel and to like have one friend say like that looks really fun, and now there's like 4 of us playing every night. And it's been a lot of fun, and I just, it wasn't on my 2022 bingo card.
Same.
Fortnite again.
Yeah.
Same. I
agree.
Maria, I think you would love it because
It feels like Fortnite for adults now.
it does, because that stupid like
it doesn't.
building was like, but it kind of does.
But it makes it
Especially when you're playing
playable
with
for adults, I
adults.
should
Left
say.
foot up, right foot slide. You just like I'm like Kratos from God of War, and I'm like doing Drake dances, and like little snippets of songs and stuff like that. I'm like, this isn't for. I mean, this is for
We
adults.
played a little bit of Fortnite last night,
Jesus.
and I kept seeing all the people who were spamming those emotes of like the hip hop, and everyone's doing all these dances. I'm like, I don't know any of this. I'm like, where's my death metal emotes? I want
Being
something like,
someone- the TikTokification of Fortnite is real. Like, because I also am on that platform, there's a lot of references that get put into there, and like I feel like I'm part of this platform because I'm up to date on that stuff.
Yep.
And so that there's like weird like TikTok fan service to these references too, which is just a weird 2022 bingo card
I love
situation too.
TikTok, man.
But that's the
I,
beauty though too is like I'm referring to is Charlotte Snape Fantasy in the chat talking about being trash at Fortnite, and it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter, and it's so
and
much
that's
better now that there's no building.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to dominate this, but at the same time, like that's
Good.
exactly
Dominate away.
what we've been talking about with my friends who maybe we're not big like battle royale people. And like there's just something about like the goofiness and like bubbly colors of Fortnite that if you die, like whatever, we'll just requeue. You know, it's like you didn't spend like
Whatever.
like in PUBG where you'd spend like 40 minutes in this big map that slowly got you were just like sneaking around building to building and like it's just very slow, very slow. This game, you know, you're gonna hit the end of the game in like 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And it's just you know refined it and tuned it and I just think that it's just a perfect popcorn snack of a game right now, especially after 100 hours of Elden Ring. To just pick this up and play for 15 minutes, like it's perfect. That's all I need.
That's
That's
very
always
accurate.
that was me last night. I went from playing Fortnite. I was like, here we go, transfer to the darkness. But
You
Maria, you
died.
would love it because
That's the
it should be
problem.
something we
I
stream too
yeah,
because of
but
all
that's the
the
problem
swearing
though.
you would do and
Yeah,
all the
because
anger.
the
Uh,
problem is I know I would love it, but I won't get fuck all done in the rest of my life. So
Isn't
that's the
that
problem.
so
that's
that's
just
the
being a
problem is Maria's
gamer.
afraid.
I'm afraid of my
I'm
life being absorbed.
I'm afraid of love.
If
You don't
that
want to turn
isn't
into
a
Erika after we started playing Fortnite with her, and every night she's like, Fortnite, Fortnite,
Yeah.
Fortnite,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
It's because it was so much fun. And it was just so much fun because like me and like Louis were like crying, laughing at jokes that we were making and playing this game. And it was just like a great experience for hanging out with friends.
Shout out to Tahu for carrying the fuck out
Yeah.
of us that night too.
Holy crap.
Of course you did.
We won so many games and I did nothing. I had one good shot. Great.
Yeah, I'm like, Tahu, slow down, like help us learn, and he's okay, like murdering
Let me
everything. Like,
destroy
sweet.
everybody.
All right, Tahu, it's cool.
I loved it.
I'll
That
have to
was
try and
great.
schedule like one Fortnite game like every month.
every month.
yeah,
Once a
pencil it
week,
in.
ma'am.
just limit it, so I can still maintain my busy schedule.
No, you gotta
You can do
do
like that, the bag of potato chips or the pop, you know, like once you pop, you can't stop.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
That
a
reminds me
problem.
of like those little almost like chopstick hand utensils that
Rockies.
the gamers are using. I need to get some of those. Get some of those. They're like little chopsticks, and you like hold them with your fingers, and they become like
Oh, so you don't have to get your
yes, you don't have to get
controller
your grimy mitts all
all
dirty.
Cheeto
Mm.
dusty.
Yeah, that's me.
That's what I
Cheeto
need.
dust.
To people who are listening and not watching, I was doing a very awkward like hand pinching. It was weird.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
claw.
Yeah.
The
The
claw.
claw. Great movie.
Maria, I know you haven't played much lately, but what have you been up to lately?
Just staring at pieces of paper and creating images.
Images.
Do you prefer
Creative.
paper over digital?
Yes.
Or okay.
I do. Drawing on paper is like doing digital on hard mode.
Yeah.
So, so
You can't control Z that.
no, you cannot. And
New Game Plus.
exactly
Art.
like I'm drawing on my tablet, and then I went back to paper, and then I was just like, "Fuck, this is hard." So yeah.
Yeah. You can't
So
zoom in and then just delete like
No.
a single pixel.
No
Like
layers, no,
Yeah, yeah,
none of that.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
All this
that's-
fucking like racer dust. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also as well. It's like you try and do something on paper, and it's like you're being brave, are you? You want to try something new? Well, you fucked it up.
and now you have to start over.
Start it again. Shame.
That's what it's like to
Shame.
play Elden Ring.
I'm sure it is.
You
That's
have
why I
to
don't play that
start
either.
over.
So no,
Are you
but
working on any big projects?
Go ahead.
Anything you can share that is in the works?
Well, I just did my Monkey Island work that blew up on Twitter and went kind of fucking crazy.
That was
So I got like developers and shit sharing it. I was like,
That
alright,
looks
sure.
fantastic.
Yeah. and I'm just putting my shit out there, I'm just trying to be like, hey, here's my stuff. Look at it
Please.
a lot. So yeah,
Notice
yeah,
me,
just
senpai.
yeah, notice me, senpai, basically.
And
Yeah,
that art was because of the announcement of the new Monkey Island game, right?
yes,
I
yes,
had
Like you
never
actually
heard of that.
created that based off that one
yes.
image they shared.
Yeah, the one trailer that they showed that everybody's lost their fucking mind over.
I had never heard of it until you posted that. I was like, what is this?
It's a
Never heard
game.
of it.
It's from 30 years ago.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not quite
it's
30 yet.
oh, you're like a sperm. It
I
was
turned 29 in a couple weeks.
basically Monkey Island was the game of my childhood. Like it came out in 91, so I was 6 when it came out. And so it was like the game I played all the time, and it's like a point and click adventure thing, but
It was
it
Doom
has
for me.
yeah, it has very like British comedy to it, and it's very Monty Python and stuff. And yeah, and so they just about 2 weeks ago or a week ago they announced it, and it's by the original creators of the original game, and I was like, what the fuck? So
Yay!
yeah, so I was just like, I need to cash in on this shit. So yeah.
Take my money.
I'm scrolling through right now. I had missed these posts that you had done, and these are fantastic. I wish we gotta link these somehow when we're done.
Did you ever
Um,
get to play the sorry, to cut you off there, Patrick? Yes, we'll do that. We'll absolutely do that. But I want to ask Maria if you ever played the Easter egg part of Sea of Thieves that references
No,
Monkey
I never
Island.
did. No, I really want to though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's nothing too super exciting. There's
yeah,
just a point where you go to a ship and you find a couple of diaries that are by
mm,
Guybrush, and it's like,
yeah,
oh, this is Monkey Island.
yeah. Well, I lost my shit when he turned up in Uncharted 4.
Hmm.
So I was like, I know him. Yeah, so
I'll smile along like I know what's happening.
you young thing.
that went
Ah,
over my head too. I'd actually what reference was that? Is that easy to explain?
it's the one, yeah, in the part where they've got the paintings of all the pirates of history and stuff,
Yeah.
and you have to solve the puzzle with all the things.
Yes.
There's the
Yeah.
one with the monkey, and it's like,
Um,
oh, the monkey thing, and he's like the guy with the yellow hair and the blue shirt joke, and he goes, I don't know who this guy is. That's Guybrush. Yeah.
okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Best
King's
game ever.
Quest, Space Quest. I never played any of those. I remember playing Dragon's Lair as a kid.
Mm.
I don't know how or why, but
Yeah.
Game.
probably the
My
original
point and click
NES game.
adventures were Freddy the Fish, Putt Putt, but the Humongous Entertainment catalog.
I remember
that was
playing
like baby's
Oregon
first.
Trail, and I had some sort of Marvel game for my computer when I was a kid, and you could it had like a clip art program where you could like put Spider-Man into scenes, and then there was like the Green Goblin, and you basically
Oh,
stuck things where you wanted. And there was something where you could put in like a little animation of him going, "My spider sense is tingling,"
core
and like I
memory
would just,
unlocked.
oh
I
yeah,
can see that. I can see that in my head. I've not thought about that in a long time.
oh my god. So like me and my brothers would play that. So you've played this program, you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about? It was
yeah.
like an
I mean,
educational program.
where or when, but animating Spider-Man in some way like that,
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see that.
I remember like there was one of the clip arts of Spider-Man had bent over like with his ass pointed towards you, and I would do that, and then I would take the Green Goblin bombs and like drop them under his butt like he's
Not
farting
on his
them out,
butt.
and I would be laughing my ass off like this is hilarious.
You
Peak
child.
comedy. Comedy, you guys.
Yeah,
Peak comedy.
pure comedy.
Pure
Pure
comedy.
peak.
Memory unlocked.
Oh
That's what
gosh.
we did before the internet. We had things fall out of things butt cracks,
Yeah,
It was
I used to
simpler
draw
days.
I used to draw my own made up Mortal Kombat and Power Ranger characters,
Mm-hmm.
and I would mishmash them. I used to have a special version of the Green Ranger that was the Godzilla Ranger.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
And now they have a
Interesting.
Godzilla cross Power Rangers comic book.
Did you ever submit to
Godzilla
Nintendo
Ranger.
Power?
I don't know, honestly. I might have.
I drew a picture of Luigi as like probably a 7-year-old. I don't know if I even mailed it to the right place, but I remember at least attempting to submit to Nintendo Power. There was always a great back section where it was like the fan art that people
Oh
would
yeah, the
submit.
fan art.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
never did
remember
any
Oh,
of
the
that.
fan art.
Oh, I should have. I never did.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids that never used to win anything in art competitions because teachers would be like, "Yeah, but you know you're good though." I'm like, I never won won anything ever. Fucking never won anything because they were like, yeah, but little Timmy doesn't know he's good and he needs the medal.
Needs a little boost, a little boosty boost.
It needs a boosty boost. Well, I've never won fuck all, so can I have a boosty boost?
I need the boosty boost.
You need the
So-
butt boost.
I'm curious though, Maria, have you played anything else? Like I know you haven't played anything super recently, but what was the last thing you did play?
I won't
Wordle.
judge you.
Playing a lot of Gang Beasts, obviously, with you
Oh
guys.
yeah,
the
that's
game
right.
beast.
Yeah, there we go.
All the chicken
Um,
versus lucha.
Chicken
Sure.
yeah.
That's fine.
Not really. I did like the Neo thing, with you a while ago and stuff, and I was trying to get back into Returnal again. I want to do that co-op.
Yeah, I want to do the
Returnal.
co-op
thing.
Returnal.
But yeah, I just don't have the time. I'm just kind of it's because I spend so much time just focusing. I'm just like, fuck it.
Understandable.
Just-
I will try to do a quick little what I've been playing, and then maybe we can move on to some other pop culture topics. What am I not playing is the better question, because anyone who knows me, I have a bad tendency to try and play everything at all times at once. So, like, not only have I been playing Elden Ring, I dipped into Tunic for a bit. I almost beat Tunic. I got stuck at a certain point. I have to go back to that. I have to go back to Elden Ring. I've also recently gotten a huge JRPG kick, and I've been playing the original Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX
Ooh.
for whatever effing reason. I don't know why. It's going to be my first time actually playing through those games. Well, Final Fantasy VII. I've never actually played all the way through Final Fantasy VII from start to finish. So I only just now firsthand witnessed the end of Disc 1, which I know everyone out there is probably like, "Ugh." I didn't get that far the first time.
I haven't either.
Me neither.
I-
Yeah, I think we're gonna disappoint some people out there.
I've
in
never
the
played any Final
DeadPaniverse.
Fantasy
Because
games.
no one here.
I
I've
want
been
to.
messing with my PS Vita lately.
Oh,
Vita.
That's another thing.
What is that?
What is that thing?
No.
This is a portable PlayStation, kids.
I think we have like 3 of those. We have one that's like bright blue. It's really pretty.
I don't have
Yeah,
one.
they come in
miss
really
mine.
fun colors.
They're cool.
And I recently dipped my toe into Ys Origin, which is an action RPG that apparently is beloved, that I've only just recently heard of, and I started playing. I'm like, this is fucking good. So I've been messing with that. I literally play anything and everything. I was playing Genshin Impact. I can go on. So rather than do that, maybe we can move on to some other things, because
Oh,
we could talk all day
I-
on Elden Ring, I'm sure.
I saw on the little notes thing for pop culture, our flag means death. I want to talk about that so hard.
That is on
Yeah,
my
yeah.
queue.
And now, okay, yeah. So we'll try to go spoiler free. I'm about halfway through that too when I wrote that on there. So I'm not all the way through there, but please. With that being
Oh
said, go
my
ahead.
gosh. We binged it really, really fast. It was absolutely hilarious. I really appreciate subtle comedy. And this has quite a bit of it. And so it initially caught my attention because something by Waititi. I was like, absolutely, I will watch this. And Reese, and there was not a single episode that I was like, I kind of want to skip to this part, or like, this is kind of boring. Every single episode was like, start the next one. It is one of the most amazing and incredible, especially for like the LGBTQ community. Absolutely stellar. Absolutely stellar. Worth
Yeah.
it.
It's a love story that I didn't realize was a love story until all of a sudden we were in the middle of it. And I don't think that spoils too much, but at the same time it was
Yeah.
it's great. It's great. I think that also not very spoilery. I think the moment that I knew I was in the first episode, and Erika, this might just be for you, but it's the flash cut to when our main character is speaking with an old friend of his, and they say, well, like, a library is so impractical. What about if there's a storm? And it's this flash cut of him, like, the books falling off the shelf, and he's like
Holding
on
them
a ship. Yeah, trying to hold him up, and like this yelp of like, oh, And I was like,
Hasn't happened
okay,
yet.
you got me.
That
I'm in.
was, oh my gosh, the franticness and just how quickly that cut came and went. I was crying.
Yeah.
But
I need to watch that. I added it to my list on HBO the other night, along with
drop everything and watch it.
Death on the Nile. I was like, I wanted to see that movie. I like the
I've
original.
I finished Death on the Nile like 2 days ago. Eh,
You didn't like it?
I didn't. I
Did you
tried
like
really
the Murder on Orient Express?
I did. I liked that. That was
Okay.
really good. I have a thing, especially when it comes to, like, green screen, and this movie had a lot of it, and it was bad,
Okay.
really bad.
Uh,
But
that's
also
unfortunate.
the plot was, like, because I kinda like the beginning of those movies where I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna guess right off the bat what's like, who it is and why they did it." And it was my first guess. And I was like
Oof.
and it got to the end of
Too
this,
easy.
everything happened, and I was like, "I nailed that, and I didn't want to."
That's what she said.
Yeah, I like when those type of things like subvert my expectations and it ends up being someone I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I need to watch the Our Flag Means Death, right? That's what it's called.
Yep.
Our flag
Drop
means-
everybody, drop everything, and go watch that.
Unless you're driving, don't drop your steering
Don't
wheel.
don't drop
Or
Yeah,
watching
don't,
or
I
listening
swear,
to
don't
this.
you do it.
Finish
Don't
this
you do it.
first.
finish your transportation first.
Yeah, get home safely.
As far
We
as
love you here
television
on the
goes for me,
DeadPan
I've been watching a
podcast.
lot of anime lately. That's been my kick.
Maria,
Lots
what
of
do you
anime.
like to watch?
What have I been watching? I just finished The Boys.
Mm.
Finished it?
I finished that a few
Oh,
weeks ago, and it's like, fuck me, how do we not have season 3 yet?
Right? Yeah, I know.
June
Oh, it's right.
3rd?
You started watching it because I was talking about it, didn't you?
Mm, yeah, and I'm not really a big superhero fan, so I was kind of like, oh, another
This is more
superhero
But it's-
show.
anti-hero.
Yeah, but I was watching it and I watched the first episode and I was like, oh damn, I'm in. So yeah,
Got
yeah,
me.
yeah. I was
It's
like, all right,
so true.
it is. It's good. I like it. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
June
it's
3rd is
so
the 3rd season.
fucked. It's weird because I really enjoyed that show, but it's one of the only shows that I watch, and it just fills me with anxiety, but I still watch it anyways.
Yep. Absolutely anxiety ridden. But
Yeah.
I
Did you
loved
watch the
it.
cartoon,
No.
Diabolical?
Oh yeah.
There's some good ones in there. I recommend checking that out when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've
it's a
heard
good show
it's
though.
good.
I didn't expect to get to the boys right now, but this isn't quite a topic, really for our particular panel here. But as a big wrestling fan, there is a man named Cody Rhodes, and he consistently has this. What's Big Baddie? Homelander, right?
Yeah.
Homelander. Am I getting nods
Got
for
this
that?
going
Yeah.
on.
Well, he's got the full like American flag get up where it's like he
Yeah.
presents himself as a good guy, but is like very thinks he's
He's
in
the
the right.
worst.
It's like he just is Homelander, but he's
The
the
wolf
worst.
in sheep's
Yeah.
clothing kind of thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And so besides like there's some very clear nods to that character that I appreciate. And I think that we need more of that in pop
I need to
culture.
watch
It makes for
Peacemaker.
very
I need to finish Peacemaker. Forgot about Peacemaker.
Peacemaker was good. That was really good.
Randy.
I don't want to give any more or anything else other than it's good because
I
it's
think we watched 3 episodes.
Andy was
But
good.
yeah, you're a big wrestling guy, Pat, and you can try to nerd about some wrestling, but I can't back you up on
yeah,
Try to
I mean,
nerd.
I could rant. WrestleMania was just a few weekends ago, and that had some ups and downs. It's like it's split up into a 2-night thing, which is appreciated by me because having 2 3-hour nights of wrestling instead of 1 6 or 7 is just it's by the end of that like previously if it was a long night like that you just are like so over it and things that would have been special are not as special once you've just seen you're over stimulated by all the wrestling or whatever and
It's kind of like when like movies get split into 3 parts. The Hobbit, when they shouldn't be, it was extended for way too long, and it just should have been condensed and would have made it more special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so in this case, a little opposite because I'm happy that it got split into parts, But you also had the big. Speaking of Cody, he debuted in WWE. He was formerly in the WWE. There's another rival wrestling company right now called AEW that really are putting WWE. They're giving them a run for their money. They're backed by a billionaire. They have they're on TBS and TNT. And Cody was a bigwig of AEW, and he's the first person to actually transfer back to WWE after a few years. And so there's been a little bit of political behind the scenes wrestling drama going on, but at the same time, it brings more eyes on both products and it makes him a richer man. And I don't blame anyone for wanting to do that. There's this whole thing where his dad was also a wrestler for WWE and never became the world champion. And as a kid, he was always wanted to give his dad that belt himself, but his dad has since passed away, and so he had this he debuts on Saturday on WrestleMania, and then the Monday night TV show Monday Night Raw comes on, and he does this really great heartfelt promo about how he can't do that for him anymore, but he's going to do it for himself and he's going to do it for the fans. And like I'll be honest, like I shed a little tear. I'm so susceptible to that stuff, but to cry over a wrestling promo, but it got me. So
It
anyways,
sounds like you're describing a wrestling anime.
it's anime. No, exactly. If you like reality TV, if you're like a fan of like of anime of a reality TV, I
The
think there's
drama
something
is
to enjoy
real.
about wrestling. And so that's Patrick's Wrestling Roundup, as our new segment has just debuted.
I love it. Like, I can listen and
Much
nod.
anticipated. Patrick's
Yeah,
Wrestling
hey,
Roundup.
no, the people have been clamoring for it. I don't, I had to
Hey,
deliver.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Josh is here
Josh,
for it,
yes.
for sure.
Josh in the chat is like, I'm here for
Yes,
it.
yes, he's at home.
I have like a signed picture of Rey Mysterio somewhere in here. So,
You got Ray Ray?
Yeah. Yeah,
I used to
met
play
Ray Ray.
wrestling games when I was a kid a lot, but otherwise I have no
Yeah.
context. And
My
I listened to
husband's really into
Dwayne Johnson's
wrestling.
voice constantly because of my 4-year-old.
Yeah,
I didn't know Dwayne was a wrestler beforehand. That's how out of the wrestling ring I am.
Oh, and he's Dwayne. He's not The Rock.
He's just Dwayne.
Yeah,
The
pretty
Rock.
much.
Yeah. You mean
I'm so sorry.
Rocky
I love how many
Johnson's
wrestlers
son?
have gone on to become some of the biggest actors right now. Between The
'Cause
Rock
they-
and like
they've
John Cena, and
already
they're just like
acted.
massive actors now.
It's pretty
John
cool.
Cena's-
And I think it naturally transfers over. But there's also clearly been, if you're a bit more in tune with it, there's been a lot of attempts for wrestlers to do, movies and stuff like that have totally flopped. So it's not a guarantee that you're a good wrestler, that you're also a good actor. Even though I think there's potential for crossover. Like, I think you had like Stone Cold Steve Austin in like the Expendables 8000, like whatever. But at that point, that series wasn't. I don't know. I didn't even see it, so I'm gonna stop talking about that. Wrestling Roundup. Okay.
Wrestling Roundup wrapped.
I like it.
What else are we talking about on the docket? What else we got?
else
I threw on there to we're not trying to necessarily be a news show, but just recently
No, for
Kingdom
sure.
Hearts 4 has been announced, and it was just like this like lazy Sunday at 6 a.m. my time, or like it's just like, oh hey, here it is.
By the way,
Bye.
yeah, I remember like opening my phone up that morning and being like, "Oh look, Kingdom Hearts,
Oh.
cool."
And to be honest, that was my reaction. Like I love Disney, but it doesn't do much for me. It's a very convoluted story that you have to watch like 12-part YouTube videos if you want to feel like if you miss something, if you didn't play the games, to get caught up. And there's like dueling universes and like
I'm a little torn because I played the first 2 original Kingdom Hearts back in the day on the PlayStation 2, and I remember being really into them and thinking like, "Oh, this is really cool." I like the mashup of like Square Enix RPGs meet Disney characters and universes, and I devoured those 2 games when they first came out. I didn't understand at all what the fuck was happening in those games, but I enjoyed it. And then as they kept spitting out more and more games and offshoots, that the story kept getting more and more convoluted. I'm just like, I don't care anymore. And like, it's funny hearing from like diehard Kingdom Hearts fans who will be like, "Oh, the story absolutely makes sense if you do this, 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 this," and it's like, but I played the games and it didn't make sense.
Okay, I'm sorry if I may just list off real quickly here, because there's Kingdom Hearts 1, there's Kingdom Hearts 2, 3, and now 4. But what there also is, there is Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. There is Kingdom Hearts
names make no sense.
Rechain of Memories. There is Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. There is Kingdom Hearts Recoded. There's Kingdom Hearts 358/2 Days. There's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Okay, I'm almost halfway done. Birth by Sleep. There's Birth by Sleep Final Remix that came out a year later. There is Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance, followed by Dream Drop Distance HD, of course, 5 years later. Kingdom Hearts X, Kingdom Hearts Union X, Kingdom Hearts X back cover, Kingdom Hearts Point 2, Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage. There is Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind. There is Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory, Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, Kingdom Hearts Missing Link, and Kingdom Hearts 4. I just like, what? What is that? What?
Those
I'm
actually all
I'm
exist. This isn't a joke.
No,
I was
I
so
well,
happy to let you list every single Kingdom Hearts game
Oh
because
my
that was
gosh.
incredible.
Wow.
I'm sorry. This is me. I just literally wikied this. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But just to make that clear,
But yeah, you're
don't
right.
think that I'm a fan, you guys.
Now, let me tell you this. Just recently, during one of the Xbox sales, I recently bought the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 remix, as well as one of the Kingdom Hearts 2.8 remix. They were
Divided
on
by
sale for like
4.
$15 each, I think. I honestly didn't know what I was buying until after I bought them, and then I looked and I went, "Oh, the 2.8 one doesn't even have Kingdom Hearts 2 in it. It has
So,
Kingdom Hearts like Birth by Sleep, a movie, and something else."
so what order are you supposed to play all of this?
I'm just gonna play 1 and 2. I don't care about. Well, Birth by Sleep I played a little bit, and that game is actually really cool, and it's heavily beloved. So if I'm gonna play him at all, I actually recently started playing Kingdom Hearts 1, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun with it again. And now with Kingdom Hearts 4's announcement, especially because there's already like people like looking at screenshots and like somebody
Star Wars.
found the foot of an ATST in one of the early screens. I'm like, so they're gonna bring Star Wars into Kingdom Hearts. If that matters to
Maybe,
anyone.
hopefully.
Maybe.
I bet
Dang.
they will.
I
I
mean,
just
it's
don't
a Disney
care.
property, so why
Everything's a
not?
Disney property now.
That's true.
Everything.
That is true.
I think it's
Marina,
possible
will you
to
do
play
best
those
Goofy
games and
impression
enjoy
for
them
me?
though without getting completely absorbed into the craziness of it all.
They should bring the Xenomorphs into the game, seeing as they're now the Disney property. Because
Right?
yeah,
That
it's just
makes
like,
a valid point.
You go to meet Ripley and you got to fight xenomorphs.
I'd play
Be
the
down
shit out
for
of
it.
that with the
Let's do
power
it.
loaders.
You see like
Yeah.
Donald and Goofy like, let's go. Like,
Yeah. Can I get? I need 2 of us to have a conversation as Donald and Goofy right now.
Oh my gosh.
Who's got? Erica, will you be Donald for us?
I mean,
I think Maria just proved she can
I
do
can
it.
usually do it. I don't want to blow up my microphone though.
See, there we go.
That's more banjo. I don't know how
can
to
do
be
the-
Goofy. Gosh.
Oh boy.
I have such a hard
boy.
time understanding Donald. Like when he just talks normally, I can't understand what he's saying.
I could do Mickey Mouse, but that's it.
Oh boy.
I'm above
boy.
ground.
I want you in me. Sorry.
What?
Who? That's from South Park.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Or was that Nolan?
That's Twisted Tunes. I was watching it last night.
Mm.
Goodness gracious. You
Yeah.
weirdo. I love it.
Sorry.
I used to be like,
Anyway.
listen here, motherfucker.
Anyway.
Anyways, I know there's another topic of discussion that I'm excited and I'm looking forward to talking about is the new Sonic 2 movie.
Oh yeah.
It was spectacular.
That is good. I haven't seen it.
I saw it. It's fantastic. It's the best video game movie out there. It's absolutely go see it.
Oh.
Nice.
Absolutely go see it. It's so good.
Watch the first one before the second, I'm assuming.
It would be helpful, but it's still pretty dang good. There's definitely a lot of setup and character development in the first movie that you don't want to miss. But I want to
Just like
say
Ben
that
Schwartz.
I think the Sonic games, for the most part, are pretty terrible. Like most Sonic games are bad,
They're
regardless of
all
whether
the
you like them or
same.
not. Well,
Like,
they're not well made. That's usually the problem with
Oh.
Sonic games is they're not well made, and the movies have no right being good, but they are. They're amazing. They're incredible, and I think they're easily hands down the best video game movies ever made. And the second one tops the first one. It's crazy.
dang.
I think the
Nice.
first one is the last movie that I saw in theaters.
It was for me too.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's quite enough for me to get back into the theaters.
Well,
Did you like the
considering
first movie?
I did. I didn't love it. I didn't not like it. But I enjoyed my time.
if you got back into Marvel, you would definitely go back to the theaters, just saying.
when you compare it to like
I
any
can
other
see.
video game based movies, though, I think it's easily one of the best
Okay.
because most video
Interesting.
game based movies are so bad.
Oh, they suck. Yeah.
Oh, we have there's some couch soup articles about that one that Maria has written.
Well, this DeadPan podcast is not affiliated with Couch Soup. Yes,
Yeah, I don't
No.
know what that is.
What is that? What
I
is
just
that
threw
one?
that in there because I thought it was that
No,
was
it is
funny.
relevant, but at the same time, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
They don't go to this school.
That's not the same
She
school
doesn't
district.
even go here.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Jim Carrey definitely carries a
will.
lot of that movie for sure, but
Jim
he's
Carrey's great.
incredible in it.
Yeah.
What's up with him saying he's done acting?
I don't blame
Yeah,
him,
I don't know.
honestly.
Oh, I mean, yeah, by all means, right off into the sunset. But
He-
do you think one that is something that he will stick to? I know that they've implied that they want to make Sonic into like a Sonic verse. Do you think that character goes away then if he's not going to be part of it? Do you think they replace him?
I know in a interview with one of the producers from the movie, don't quote me, I think it might have been on IGN. They said that they had asked the producers of the Sonic movies if they would recast Robotnik if Jim Carrey retires, and they said no. We're not going to recast him. We're not going to replace him. If he's done, then Robotnik's done. Essentially,
Good. I think that's good,
it
right?
was I think Jim Carrey wanted to be recognized as a serious actor. Like he went through those stints of doing those serious movies, and it's just nobody wants to see him unless he's Rubber Man and being stupid. So it's kind of like I think he's just like, I really don't want to just keep doing this. So
and
yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't turn out like the way that it did for like Robin Williams,
Mm,
where he was very, very good when it came to like more serious roles in like Dead
yeah,
Poet Society. And I think Jim Carrey was like, I could try that, but it just didn't work.
yeah.
It's kind of a bummer. But if he does quit movies, he can just do Super Bowl commercials.
Just- yeah.
That was hilarious. It was
I
a
do
great
not
move
know
by
what you were speaking of.
he
As long-
did one for Verizon. He did a Super Bowl commercial for them where he was Larry the Cable Guy, kind of.
Oh,
It was pretty funny. It was good.
As long as he's not trying to sell us an NFT, he can do whatever he
Oh
wants.
my
God.
gosh.
I did see
NFTs.
something that he said that for the next Sonic movie, if they do a Sonic 3 and he's coming back as Robotnik, that he wants to do round Robotnik
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
Like he
Yeah.
wants it to evolve to that.
Give him some tub.
So I mean,
He's
he
Eggman.
definitely evolves in the movies. Like he goes from like this doesn't look like Robotnik at all, but oh now he's got the mustache. Now he's
Yeah,
got
does
the
his
coat.
mustache get crazy in the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it goes
Yeah.
full Robotnik. Like
Okay.
and it leans so hard into the games, and I love it for that. There's so many game references in the movie. There's so many little nods.
Do you feel like it's something that like well, I don't know your experience with Sonic. You said they're not necessarily good games, but have you
played
played a
most
lot
of
of them?
I've
So
played a lot of them.
do you think that it's something if you're like a more casual Sonic player, you're gonna get these references too? Because I'm not gonna pretend like I'm the Sonic man, but
I feel like you'll get some of them, but not all of them. Like
Sure.
like the fact that there's a scene where Sonic is snowboarding down a mountain slide with a avalanche coming behind him. That's straight pulled out of Sonic Adventure.
what about City Escape? Follow me, set
The
me
song.
free. Yeah, you remember that one?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, trust me, and we will escape from the city.
And
I don't even know that song.
It has
Oh
some
my
jams in
gosh,
it.
Sonic banger,
I loved
Sonic
the
Sonic
Sonic
jams.
games. It's been
Yeah.
so long since I've played.
I
Great.
miss-
But they did a really good job with the story, and actually I was researching it, and the story in the second movie is straight pulled from Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles
Interesting.
that I didn't know had stories
true, they
until I
did
read the
bring in
descriptions
Knuckles.
online.
Okay, I was gonna say like, what's that mean?
Yeah.
Tell us what is
But
the
you can
meaning.
literally, if you go online right now and read the descriptions for Sonic 3 and then Sonic Knuckles, it sounds like a plot summary of the movie.
It's kind of
pretty
a
much.
good thing, and I'm impressed.
And it's great. It has so many great like fan services. There's so many amazing moments of like as a Sonic fan and just a fan of like video game movies, it pays so much respect to the source material in so many great ways.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
good.
good.
That
Definitely heavily
definitely
recommended.
impressed. Maybe I
It
will go
does
see
lean
it.
a little bit more into some of the child humor. Like they're definitely like, okay, this movie's gonna be more for kids, but it balances it with a lot of adult humor too that you can appreciate as a grown ass man or woman.
And so apparently, I think I also read this on IGN, or it was somewhere similar to where Ben Schwartz, who plays Sonic, he was allowed one reference to Parks and Rec.
Yep. Yep. I
And
picked up on that.
yep. I was like, I'm so glad they at least allowed him one, because everybody was hoping it was the "Don't be suspicious," but I was kind of glad it was the um
The
worst. That
worst.
was
That's
Yeah.
what I was hoping.
because
I was hoping
that
too.
is
Yep.
so him, and I'm like, I want to see the movie specifically for that reference within Sonic because that's hilarious.
I picked up on that too during the movie, and I had to I had mentioned to Brandy afterwards. I was like, "Did you pick up on the John Ralphio reference?" And she goes, "Where?" I'm like, "When Sonic did the worst thing," and she was like, "Oh my god, I hate John Ralphio."
He
Like I
is
love John
the
Ralphio.
worst.
He is the worst, but I love.
He's the worst. I hate him, but also I love him.
Hate him, but I love him.
Yeah, love-hate
Hate him, but I
relationship.
love him.
Mhm.
Anywho, I think we are coming up on our time, and it might be about time to wrap up this inaugural podcast. Before I close this out, does anybody else have anything else they want to throw out there?
No.
Just
No.
be good. Be good. Wear your
Good.
seatbelt. Look
Be
both
nice.
ways before you cross the
Hydrate.
street. Yeah, drink water. Drink
Wash
water.
behind your ears.
You know,
Eat your
wear
apple
sunscreen.
a day.
Yeah, we're getting to spring now.
Yes, please wear sunscreen.
Live
Mhm.
life. Go to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
support
So
small
that-
creators.
Go do good things.
Retweet Maria when you see, her
Good deal.
art. Maybe like
Let's
buy
start
me
with
a
eyes.
cookie or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Buy me a cookie. Is
Well,
that
we
like a
have
new
no-
version of coffee?
I mean,
Buy me a
Um,
cookie.
Yeah,
It is now.
yeah.
We
I'll have a
own that. That's
decaf
ours.
cookie.
A decaf cookie.
decaf cookie.
Technically, chocolate has caffeine, so you just have like a.
Yeah, or like sugar free or something like that. That's probably like a
I feel like
decaf
that's
cookie.
sad.
It doesn't
Sweetened with
sugar-free make you
stevia.
poop.
A lot of things make you poop. So
Most
Everybody
things make you
poops.
if
poop.
we can take one thing away from this podcast, I'd like it to be that.
A lot of
I
things
do
make
too.
poop.
Yeah.
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 That's
Well,
the title
alright.
of this podcast.
Good work, everybody.
Good work. See you all next time on we're going to try and do this bi-weekly, so hopefully in 2 weeks you'll see us back here again.
We haven't died. We'll be back.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
That's true. Well, that's true.
Oh,
That is
Erika's
true.
like, oh, is that what we're doing?
Like, how morbid? And I was like, that's technically true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go have an
no lies.
existential crisis while dying in Elden Ring. Bye.
All right, folks. That's it. Good night and peace out.